everybody. With me here is head coach Tony Hobson, along with Jaden Hobbs and Katie Wagner. First, coach, let's go ahead and have you give an opening statement of your thoughts from the game.
Well, it's a tough one to lose, obviously. We've kind of struggled playing with a lead most of the season. We have a tendency to let them get back in it, which we did today, and then we have a tendency to, we've been coming back and beating them anyway, and we did. We made, I mean, we hung. We were, we're ahead with 11 seconds. We just needed one stop to continue, and we couldn't get it. It was a really hard game to play in for the kids. I mean, there was 9 fouls called on both teams the first half. There was 30 called on both teams in the second half. It's like 2 totally different called games. It's almost impossible to play in those games for the kids, both ends. I'm not saying unfair one way or the other. I'm saying something changed at halftime. Because I think there was 9 free throws shot the first half, and, well, ended up being 51, so do your math, 42 the second half. So basically it was just the game was taken over. Now, we did a poor job of adjusting to that. And we, you have to adjust to how the game's being called. But usually from one half to the next, it doesn't get quite that, there's not that much difference. But I thought we played great to start the game, first quarter and a half. And like I said, we let them kind of cut into it right before half. And then, we missed a couple easy shots and right to start the second half. And just unfortunate because our kids played as hard as they could. It comes down to one basket or one stop, and it's very disappointing to have your season, on one possession. But sometimes that's how it is. And I told our kids that this is, going to be very painful for quite a while for the kids that are invested in the program, which is everybody, I think. And but when the smoke clears, that they're going to realize they had a great year. We won 30 ball games. That's hard to do when you schedule 28. You won 2 championships. We just, we set our sights so high that if you don't win it all, you're going to be disappointed. And that's what you set yourself up. When you put it on the line, you set yourself up to be really, really hurt if things don't work out. And that's what happened. But boy, if you don't do that, you don't win anything either. So anyway, that's my opening statement.
Okay.
My closing.
What questions from the media for the players and coach?
Coach, when you have the big halftime lead like you did, what do you tell players at halftime? Because maybe anticipating a good team like that is going to make a run at you.
Just that we can't relax, and we need to just try to play as strong as we did to start the game. It's just human nature to, when things are going good, to just relax. And so that's basically, you just have to keep guarding and rebound. And they got 3 or 4 second chances there. They just were, I don't know why we couldn't hold on to the ball a couple times. We need 3 hands instead of 2, I guess, to grab the ball at times. So it started there. It started on second chances for them. They didn't get any the first half. Second half, I'll bet they had, I mean, it says here they only had 5 offensive rebounds. I beg to differ, but that's where it starts. We just try to maintain our intensity, and it just, and then you have to give them credit. I mean, they played great. They have, that one thing they have that we don't have as many of. They have some kids that can create their own shots, can kind of, we're probably more of a little pattern team and need screens and things like that. But they made big shots. I mean, Haggard, how many threes did she drop from way out? 2 or 3 big ones, One of those rims out and we get the rebound, and we're out there right now. But they were 4 for 16, and she hit 2 big ones down the stretch. Out of those 4, hit 2. So just like we hit a couple the other night, they hit a couple on us.
Coach, in a one-point game, it's easy to look back at several moments, but is there moment in the game that you wish you would have done something differently just to shift momentum or stop things, or just as you look back at this contest?
Well, there's a moment, but I'm not going to talk about it. I mean, yeah, we could have maybe changed a couple things on defense and played maybe some of our zone press, maybe to change up the tempo a little bit. But they're so good off the dribble that I was afraid they'd dribble and kick it and get an easy shot. So we didn't do that. Again, it wasn't as much. I mean, our plan was fine. It worked great. It's just executing, and we got a lot of easy. I mean, I was hoping, Liv had a tough game at times. She had 14 and 4. I mean, she didn't have a bad game, but I thought she could maybe dominate a little more and maybe get a little more out of her. And I wanted to go in there a lot, but they started guarding her better the second half and kept her off balance.
You talked about Haggard, number 12. She seemed to give a boost in the second half, both the drives to the basket and the long threes. How much of a problem was that, and did you anticipate that from her?
Yeah, number 2. The way they were calling the game the first half, she drove it to the basket 2 or 3 times and missed shots. She'd jump into us, and there wasn't a call. And then the second half, they were fouls. So really, we just had to do a better job because they run a lot of screens for her, and they're not easy shots. Guys, I see people try to make them all the time. And when you're running away from the basket, coming off a screen and can turn and hit it, she just hit a couple big shots. So, yeah, she's a hard matchup.
We had the last out-of-bounds play, 8 seconds left. Looked like they were really trying to deny Jaden the ball. What were you wanting to get in that possession, and you ended up, having to get the runner to try to score?
Well, we wanted to get it to Jaden and come off of a high ball screen with Katie, and if they didn't get anything there, Katie was going to run down the post, and we were going to throw it there and ISO her and try to get a shot. Because we had 8 seconds. We had quite a bit of time. I probably should have. I could have called another timeout, but, a lot of times we're pretty good when things are in disarray. I trust that the ball's going to get somewhere where we'll get a shot. And we could have thrown it inside right away. We missed it and kicked it back out. Who did it come into? Did you get it inbounds? Yeah, you got inbounds. Liv kind of was. We could have dumped it right in there right away, which probably, hindsight, it's great. People always are good with hindsight or watching the replay. They should have done this, but that was, the play was to go back to Jaden and run a high pick and roll, and we didn't get a very good shot.
Jaden, can you talk about your decision to come here to Fort Hays State and just your time here?
Yeah, I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to be here.
I don't think she feels like talking. I'm sure as hell glad she came here. It's been a great 3 years with her. This is the first year she's got to finish a full season. First year ended with COVID in the regionals, didn't get to play. Last year we played 22 games, didn't play a full schedule. Only 6 teams at the regional. So, for somebody to have 1,000 points and how many assists, 400 and some, in 2 shaved off years and 1 full year, that's remarkable. So I'm really, I'm happy for the chance that I got to coach her.
Katie, down the stretch, you had a lot of opportunities to go in the basket, make some free throws, got the big 3-point play to give you the lead. Was that you just being aggressive, or are they trying to get the ball to you to try to create and score?
I would say a little of both. Definitely, I think with the refs calling fouls, I was going to try and go into him and try and draw a foul. I knew that we needed to score there, so just to be able to put that in for us was big.
It was a play to go to her.
So,
Earlier in that, when she's going to the line time after time, we're just trying to get it into her.
Well, like I said, we were trying to adjust how the game was being called, and we knew that, we were trying to go somewhere where we could get a good shot, and that was our best option.
Feet are killing me.
I was gonna say,
And
take
take
those
those off.
things
Yeah, they're
off.
really tall.
No, get them off. You're gonna have blisters.
I do actually.
Oh, gosh.
Nope.
I did do a lot of stomping today.
Yeah, rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Break a foot one of these days.
Please don't roll your ankle.
Man, you have to have everybody's name, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Never know who's gonna play well.
We're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are your regional champions, Missouri Western, head coach Candy Whitaker, and players Corbin Cunningham and Jalen Haggard. Coach, let's go ahead and open up with an opening statement from you on the game.
Well, an unbelievable game. You know, we got into a major hole and found a way to dig ourselves out of it. Fort Hays is an incredible program. They played a super tough game. Coach Hobson's always been very good to me, and you know, the program he's built is something we work to beat. The consistency they've had. So, obviously, you know, shout out to them for such a great season. Could not be more proud of this bunch. I mean, they just continue to find ways and bring it and play a high level of basketball. And the resilience they showed and the fight they showed was something I'll never forget. And, you know, a lot of ways they've set a standard for us at Missouri Western. And they've created memories and moments for us that we'll never forget and continue to try to build on. But really proud of them. Also want to thank the regional committee for a great tournament, and Fort Hays. Just everything was done so well here, and we enjoyed our time, and everything went really smoothly. So a big thank you to everyone who played a huge role in making this tournament happen.
Okay, I'll go ahead and open up the questions for Coach and the players.
Just start chronologically. Can you just talk about the first quarter and what, we'll work our way to the good stuff?
Well, it felt like we had some individuals that really wanted to go make big plays, and were forcing things and not really executing and playing together, which is when we're at our best. And it didn't come, I don't think, from a selfish place. I think it came from a place of really wanting to win this game, and it put us in a bad rhythm. We had some really poor transition defense in that time, and sometimes poor offense leads to that. And they made shots, and they made open shots, and they made some hard shots, contested shots, but they came out on fire, and we were not good. So that was the first quarter.
At what point did you feel like you guys settled in and started getting what you wanted to get?
Well, I thought we got a little better in the second, but still not great. Still not really making shots, but started to maybe execute a little bit better, started to get some things at the rim. We're cutting a little bit better and had some good plays. But, you know, it wasn't really in the first half that I felt like we were in sync and playing like we had been in this tournament.
Obviously, the game swaps on and question for you, Jalen. I guess just what was your perspective of the 4-point play that was a 2 free throw that turned into 4 free throws in the ball with the game tied?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even sure what happened. I was just told to shoot 4 free throws. So I knew obviously the foul, but at that point, my job was to just knock down 4 free throws and try and put us up 4.
Do you feel like that's where things kind of shook, or did it happen before?
Well, we had climbed back, right? We had climbed back, but that's huge. It's huge. That you fouled a fantastic shooter, right? And Jalen had become really aggressive and was putting our team on our back in that period of time. I got a tee, they got a tee. It's probably fairly even, but big time opportunity for us and to go up 2 possessions.
Coach, you talk about the 2 halves a little bit more. The first half, officials really let it go, not many free throws were shot. Second half, a lot closer called, a lot more free throws.
Noticed that.
How do you adjust to something like that? How difficult is it to adjust
Yeah.
to that from one half to go
Yeah.
to such a change?
I think it's always difficult, for players. I mean, we talk about that. I mean, you know, referees have a hard job, and you have to get a feel for what the game is like, and you have to adjust as a player. You know, but I guess consistency is the most important thing from end to end. But you know, again, just really proud of our group. Of course, both teams, you know, shot it pretty well from the line. But you know, just the fight to come back, you know, for us in the second half was everything.
And Jalen, you seemed to give them a boost in the second half with drives to the basket and against their defense, and also, of course, you know, the threes. Is that something you pride yourself on being able to do those two things?
I mean, I've kind of bought into my role as a shooter, but I try and drive just because I think it catches people off guard every now and then because it's not necessarily my first go-to move. So at that point, I was just trying to stay aggressive and put us at the rim anytime we could.
And the 1-3 was a rainbow for quite a big distance. Are you confident in that shot from that distance?
Yeah, I'm confident because she's confident in me, so I let it go.
Yeah, she can shoot wherever she'd like. In fact, she gets in trouble when she doesn't. So, and Jalen's a basketball player. I mean, she can put it on the floor. She's got mid-range. She's super quick. You know, she's very versatile as an offensive player.
The two late possessions, first offensively, you were able to get the ball inside to get the go-ahead bucket. Was that what you were wanting to try to get it to her, or was it just it developed that way?
Who was
Bree.
Bree, the goal, like the winning, the last bucket?
Yeah.
It was
Budgets.
it was an option, absolutely. We had 3 options in that play, really 4, and that was one of them. And Bree was open. I thought Jordan made a really good decision to give it to her, and Bree made an even better decision to attack the rim.
And then after you got the lead, the defensive possession, were you trying to really deny Hobbs the ball in that possession?
We felt like she was coming, and we wanted to try to blow the play up if we could, but not stay too long. I don't like to gamble too much off the inbounder, but yes, we tried to blow the play up.
Finally, what does it mean for this program to advance to the Elite Eight?
Well, we are in it to win it. So when we start in the recruiting process with our athletes, I mean, we talk about winning at the highest level, and I believe in talking about it. I believe in putting it out there and making sure they know that that's a possibility. I believe that at the Division II level, I think there's not a lot of difference there's more parity. So if you can get an opportunity and you can get enough talent and athleticism and mesh it, right, and have great chemistry, I think you have an opportunity to win at the highest level.
This whole year, you were to a point where you were contending for a conference title, and then you run into Hayes Carney, and and then had the buzzsaw. You never could get over the hump over the teams that were ahead of you. What did this weekend do for this program in that essence?
Well, I think this team had been building for a while as far as playing better. We would play really well, and then we would have a game where we would watch film and be like, there's 25 wasted possessions there. We have to be our best. We have to control what we can control. And so it's just been chipping away at understanding what makes us good. And then towards the end of the season, you could see it just clicking more and more, understanding their offense, understanding options, understanding what makes them good. And we weren't winning at the end against Fort Hays and Kearney, but we felt like we were putting ourselves in a position to win. And this team just continues to buy in to the team mentality. And they've just been a joy to coach.
For the two players, you were the 7th seed coming into the tournament. Was there, obviously every team thinks they can win and go to the Elite Eight, but you're the 7th seed. Is there a point in time where you thought that you had that belief even more so, that confidence that, yeah, we can go ahead and win this thing?
I think in the first game, whenever we played just so in sync with good tempo, I said, I think we can get this.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were confident walking in. It didn't matter who we played or what our seed was. We were just ready to show up and win.
And Coach, what's your thoughts about as the 7th seed coming in? You knock off the 2 seed very first game. It has to give your program a lot of confidence going into the next 2 games.
Absolutely. I mean, I think winning always builds confidence. So when you have success, you you learn from it and it builds confidence. I just think this team's really good. I mean, there was never a point, really. I mean, I always thought they're good enough to win whatever game they're in, to be honest. So that's how I approach it. That's how I look at it. I didn't really care what seed we got as long as we got in. I just thought if we get in, we can win. We have enough of our roster's deep. Our roster's talented. We have athleticism. We have, inside out balance. And I think that equates to really winning this time of year. And, I've always thought they could win.
For the players, what was it like at halftime, getting down like you guys were? What was going through your heads? And how did you think of what to do or what to say to mount the comeback that you did?
I mean, we've been in positions where we had been down before. Obviously, we were down against UNK, but like we said, the buzzer. The game's not over till the buzzer sounds. So, just trying to execute a little bit better than we did in the first half and string together stops, and that would put us in a better position.
And just chipping away. We had a big deficit. I think we came together and did what we need to do.
Any other questions for the players and coach? Okay, congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna, that's embarrassing. Why my toes are really embarrassing. But.
I got you, buddy.